Welcome to the January 2011 newsletter from the Computer Information Agency. On the agenda today, we'll look at what's new from the CIAOPS. We'll look at 3 great cloud applications including Delicious, SkyDrive and LastPass. We'll take a brief overview of Microsoft OneNote and then look at some tips and tricks. So what's new from the CIAOPS? This video newsletter is obviously our first attempt at an adjunct to our existing email newsletter. You can sign up for our technology newsletter at www.ciaops.com. Scroll down to the bottom of the page where you can put in your email address and also view previous editions. So let's now have a look at 3 great cloud applications. The first is LastPass.com, which is an online password security. Next is Delicious.com, which involves social bookmarking. Finally, let's look at SkyDrive.com, which is all about cloud-based storage. Here we are on the LastPass homepage. As you can see, there are 2 versions of LastPass. There's a free version, but also a premium for only $1 a month. Once you download and install the application, LastPass will ask you to create an account. You can then use this account to store your existing passwords used to access web applications. Another advantage is that every time you wish to sign up to a new web application, you can automatically generate a secure password. After installing LastPass, you'll see that it creates an icon in your browser. If I open this icon, you can see that I'm logged in with my own account. But under Tools, for example, I have the option here to generate a secure password. And I can then copy this password and then use it in a new web-based application I sign up for. This means that it's unique and highly secure. And finally, it's also saved in LastPass so that I can access that anywhere that I have LastPass installed. This is great in the fact that it means that I no longer have to remember my individual passwords on individual machines. I can simply install LastPass on my PC or on my mobile device and access the sites automatically without having to type in any information. So to see a good example of this, let's go and have a look at SkyDrive. SkyDrive is located at skydrive.live.com and is a Microsoft service. As you can see, when I come to the sign-on page, LastPass has detected that I do already have a log-on for that and is prompting me to put in the details. But you'll notice here that I have more than one login for SkyDrive. So in fact, I have up to 3 accounts. I currently have 3 accounts. You'll notice that up here, the toolbar at the top allows me to select which account that I want to use. So I'm going to use my normal one. Select that and you'll see that it currently logs me in automatically with the correct login and password without me having to type anything on the keyboard. So now that I'm in SkyDrive, you'll see that this is basically arranged in a file and folder format, much like files on your desktop. To access any file or folder, I just simply need to click on that file to bring up the options. I can also add new files. So again, here I can add Microsoft Office files or create a new folder. I can also add files, so I can upload files from my existing machine, and I can choose whether to share these files with others. So if I want to, for example, look at a file, I can simply click on that file and it will bring it up and allow me to work with the information that it contains. So here I can download that file, I can share it, I can delete it, move it, copy it, rename it. But an interesting thing happens when we store Office documents onto SkyDrive. You'll notice here that I have a number of Office documents. So let me open the Excel document, and you'll notice that if it is an Office document, that it opens using the Office web apps. This means that I can now view this information directly in the browser without having to load Excel or have it on my system. So now that I can view it, you'll notice there's also the ability to edit it. So I can select the option to edit in a browser, and you'll see it brings up the familiar 2010 ribbon with a number of features and functions. You'll also notice there are a number of tabs here containing additional features, but I can easily go in here and add more information and improve my spreadsheet. The other good thing about SkyDrive is that it automatically saves in the background. So once I go up to File, you'll notice that there is no direct save. There's a Save As to save to a different name, but SkyDrive automatically saves all this information for me as I'm working. You'll also notice that there are a number of other features here. So I close this workbook now that I've finished working on it. It'll take me back to my documents. Now if I click on the Word document to show you what the Word looks like, you'll notice that again it brings it up into SkyDrive for me automatically, and I can then choose, as I did before, to edit in the browser. But you'll also notice that I also have the ability to open it in Word. So provided I have Word installed on my system, then I'm able to open that document in Word, edit it with the full functionality available with my suite on my desktop, and then save it back to SkyDrive. So our third cloud-based application is delicious.com. So in here what Delicious is firstly it's a way to save your bookmarks. So again, what we can do is, as before, we can go up into our favourites in our browser and we can save our bookmarks and use them as we normally do. The issue with that is when you move between machines, or when you want to access information from a machine that you don't currently work on, accessing your bookmarks is generally not possible. However, if you store them up in Delicious, which stores the information in the cloud, you can access those bookmarks from anywhere that you have internet access. Firstly, you'll need to go and create an account, which I've already done here. So if I click on my account details, you'll see a list of all the bookmarks that I've recently saved. When I save a bookmark, I can also incorporate a tag which helps me remember and categorise the information and the bookmarks that I'm saving. You'll also notice here it tells me how many other people have bookmarked the same page. This is where the power of social bookmarking comes into play. You can now start to see how popular different links are, and you can also start looking at how people tag this information. You can then use that information to start following people and find out what they're tagging. This also allows you to follow people of influence and to gain from the information that they're currently uploading. The good thing about Delicious too is that it also has the power to incorporate some built-in add-ons to your browser. So as you can see here, we have 3 additional icons that allow us to work with Delicious automatically. So if we visit a website that is particularly informative, so in this case we'll go to Salto, and what I can do now is I can select to tag this and save this bookmark by clicking on this icon. So what I can do here is I can choose which tags I want to use. You can see these are the tags that I'm currently using, these are the tags that other people are using. So once I select to save this information is then added to my Delicious automatically, which means I can access it, and it is also shared with others. I can choose not to share it and make it private if I so desire. Now, what I can also do is I click the second icon here, it allows me to view all my existing bookmarks. So for example, one that I recently bookmarked is LastPass. So again, it gives me the list of all the bookmarks that I have worked with and saved here. You'll also see that it lists the ones out by individual tags. So if I select an individual tag, it will show me all the bookmarks that I have saved with this tag. Again, it's easy enough to close this window and work with, but using Delicious is an excellent way to save your bookmarks and have them accessible by any PC on the internet, as well as share them with others if desired. So in the next part, let's take a quick look at Microsoft OneNote. You can think of OneNote as a digital notepad which comes with every version of Office 2010 and is great for saving all sorts of ad hoc information. So now we can see here our OneNote. You'll see that each is known by a OneNote file, and we can have multiple OneNote files down here. So you can have as many different notebooks open as you want at any one time. Within a notebook, there are a number of tabs across the top. Think of these as files in a filing cabinet. And again, on each tab, you can have a number of different pages. Think of these as folders within each individual drawer of a filing cabinet. As you can see, I can store a whole lot of different information. I can store text, I can store graphics, I can actually embed things like handwritten notes. But one of the power of OneNote is its ability to save information automatically and tag it from the web. So we'll create a new page here called Demo. We'll go out to our website, and what we'll do here is we will copy some information from this website, and we will then go into our OneNote and we will paste this information. So you'll see it brings it all in for us, keeps the formatting and also the graphics, but if you notice, it also tells us where we took this information from. So again, that makes it really good as a clipping service that we can easily access and return to if required. You'll also notice that in Internet Explorer that the OneNote tab icon is automatically added. So again, if we select a page on the internet, we can simply click this button and it will send that information into a page on our OneNote, as simply as doing that. So again, if we scroll down, we'll see this page has been added to our OneNote. So again, OneNote's a great tool for keeping all sorts of digital information. The most handy thing is not only is it saved and backed up, but it can also be searched. You can also choose to share and collaborate with other users by utilising the shared notebook feature of OneNote, by sharing or saving OneNote into a place on the internet like SkyDrive or on a hosted SharePoint site. Again, very handy for collaboration between users. So let's take a quick look at some tips and tricks for this month. We'll have a look at Salto.com and also Google Guide. Salto.com is dubbed as an anti-frustration software. It allows you to install a small application on your PC, which lives down here in the system tray, and then it can monitor your system. So one of the things that it does do is it monitors every time that you boot. It tells you which applications are loading and how long each application takes to load. It can then also help you categorize which applications you may not require on your system at load time to speed up the boot. So again, you can choose to pause the loading up, which means it won't happen during the boot up of the PC, or you can delay it for a number of seconds. So again, very handy little piece of software. It also keeps track of the time taken to boot, the applications that are installed on your machine, and also provides you a history of each time that your machine boots. A very handy little application. The other tip that we'll provide this month is the Google Guide site, which gives you information about how to better use the operators within Google. You'll notice that simply typing in a phrase like biking Italy will give you words biking and Italy, which may be far more than you require. However, if you use operators like the minus symbol, you'll actually get the word salsa, but not the word dance. To improve the functionality and speed and also the information returned in searches, we highly recommend you take a look at Google Guide to improve the way that you search for information on the internet. So the references for this month, don't forget that our email newsletter sign up is at www.ciaops.com. Scroll down the bottom and add your email address. We have our video newsletter and our tutorials located on YouTube at youtube.com/director-CIAOPS. And don't forget, at any point you can send me feedback and suggestions on what you think about what we produce here. Please do so to director@ciaops.com. Finally, the information provided here is done so as is, and if you have any comments or feedback, please use the contact methods detailed here. Thank you very much for watching, and look out for further newsletters from the Computer Information Agency.